Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. It is Titans Part 2 with Season 4, Episode 2, titled Mother Mayhem. Another banger episode. Let's get started. So we open with a little girl named Aria and her family. They're chilling at home. But we know something's amiss just based on the music alone. And this is why I said the music is top notch, like the choices, because the song that's playing is Somebody's Watching Me, which is lovely foreshadowing to our mysterious figure who comes in and kills once again. Now, in Titan's case, I would rather the music be very obvious and on the nose than just extremely inappropriate like last season. So it works. I'm here for it, right? So I noticed in this scene that the mysterious figure so far, he favors killing the women over the men. And we kind of get a clue into why he keeps the men alive later in the episode. But I noticed that and I was like, I wonder why he feels the women are disposable and the men are not. He does not kill the little girl though, like I thought he would. He actually just traps her in like a never-ending nightmare. So we cut away from that and we are back with Lex in the aftermath of his murder. Connor is arrested. And as soon as the police come in, you know that there is an inherent bias and hatred towards Connor or so anyone who's Superman-esque, anyone who's like an alien. It's a clear bias, right? They place him in this like kryptonite cell, but it's not really a cell. It's like just this light source and it just has kryptonite. Like light, I guess. Is that the right? But basically, Connor is under this light source of kryptonite and he's just weakened, and that's where he's staying imprisoned for now. And I bet you anything that it was funded by Lex. I bet you anything. So the Titans find out Connor was arrested and, they turn right back around to go see him. Dick and Kory visit him in the prison. Leadership status. We love to see it. So during this scene, Connor notes, and this is not the first time, that he can hear the thoughts of everyone around him and like what they're thinking of him. And I kind of feel bad for him in this moment. I'm sure that's overwhelming. It's the same way in Man of Steel, or I think this happened in Superman and Lois also, when Clark first discovered like his super hearing, and it's just extremely overwhelming. So I felt bad for him. Dick and Kory vow to exonerate Connor, and this lady on the intercom says, your visitation time is over. We need to talk to it. Ew. Dick gets completely pissed off by that remark to the point where Kory has to like calm him down. He's walking out cursing and pissed. I'm like, wow. But Kory's calming him down. We get a great Dick Kory moment. Just that whole sequence was like Dick Kory, and I was here for it. It was so cute. After Dick calms down, he tells Kory that Lex has been surveilling her, and we get yet another Dick Kory moment out of this, which is just, it just warms my heart so much. It really does. But we cut away from that, and Tim and Gar are training in the woods. So Gar scares the shit out of Tim, and when he starts laughing, I start laughing. Like, his laugh in that scene is absolutely golden. But unfortunately, the good nature of the training session doesn't last for long because Gar starts to hear voices. He darts off to go see what's going on, and then he ends up passing out. So we cut away from there, and Kory goes to the safe house or wherever where Lex is keeping his data/research on her. And turns out there's someone else there named, what is his name? Nelson Blake. He is trying to gain access to the data. Now, while she's fighting him, right, and trying to figure out what's going on, I noticed the photos. One of the photos on the computer of her were from like season 2 or 3. So Lex has been surveilling her for a while now. And I guess maybe it's because she was another alien and, he has a vendetta against all aliens. So he just kind of zoomed in on her. But I really want to know, like, what is she the key to in this whole story? I just love the mystery. I love it. Kory is interrogating Nelson Blake, and he spills that after Lex got kryptonite poisoning, he changed. And basically his motivation for wanting the Temple of Azarath was because he wanted to cheat death. So before Kory can get any more information out of him, Nelson starts to hear chanting, and then he dies in the same manner that Lex did. So Mother Mayhem or whomever is axing them off one by one by one. So we cut away from that, and Dick and Rachel are back at Lex's penthouse. Basically, they're at the crime scene where he got murdered, and Rachel uses her powers to track the traces of magic that are present within the apartment. And her powers, oh my god, they look incredible. And with Raven specifically, I am so happy to see the evolution of the CGI with her powers, because with each season it's been getting better and better and better, and it's like it's very reminiscent of the original cartoon. It's just, oh, it made me so happy. I love it so much. So Rachel's able to track the magic back to Aria's house from the opening scene, so they're gonna go over there. Meanwhile, Gar wakes up from whatever the hell happened to him, and Tim is just utterly confused. And this running gag of him being utterly confused is golden, because we get another moment in a second, and it made me like die laughing. It was just so funny. So we cut to Sebastian, who's visiting his mom in like this nursery home or whatever. And again, the scene is colored with these yellow orange tones. For me, it's still conveying caution and danger lurks around Sebastian. So I really, really love that. I don't know if that's their intention, but just considering how things go for him in this episode, my man's is at his breaking point. So we cut back to the Titans. They're at Aria's house now. They walk in. First of all, the colors, amazing. But when they're walking in the house, Tim is just incredulous to the idea that Raven has visions. And I just found that so hilarious, because it's like, Tim, you've been with them for some time now. I feel like you should have an idea of everyone's like base abilities. That's like being shocked that Gar can turn into animals. Hi, me editing. So I forgot to mention how the team is pretty separated in this episode, but this is not a bad thing in this instance. I know I've complained about them being separated. The difference with this season is that while the team is split up, you know, Tim and Gar were training, Kory was finding out about Lex and him surveilling her. All of this serves a greater purpose. All of this serves the mystery surrounding Mother Mayhem and the Church of Blood. While last season, when they were splitting up every 5 seconds, it didn't serve to help the team. And that's why they were in the situation that they were in. So I really liked that regardless of them being separated, they still felt like a team. And when it came time to investigate something serious, like going back to Aria's house, they were there together and ready to do what they needed to do. So I just wanted to note that. Back to the video. It was just so funny to me. I don't know why. But we have another great music choice in Mr. Sandman that was playing when they walked in. Specifically the lyric, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream, which is great foreshadowing to when they find Aria. But unfortunately, they discover the body of the mother, who is just wrecked to hell. It was gruesome. And Tim understandably freaks out. Like, he can't. And I really felt bad for him in this moment, because I know he wasn't prepared. I know he wasn't prepared to see something so gruesome and gross and traumatic. And I hope that I don't necessarily need to see this, but I hope that there was a Titan there, maybe Gar, to kind of help him through this, because this is probably the most gruesome thing he's ever seen in his life. Because even in season 3, he never really looked at dead bodies or anything like that. It's never been this gruesome with the Titans, not since season 1. So I really felt bad for him in this moment. Rachel and Dick find Aria upstairs. She's in a nightmare state and she's like seizing. It's a mess. Raven enters Aria's mind to help free her, and this is when we finally have a name for our mysterious figure, the bone-faced man, which I will be calling him now for the rest of the review. But Raven fights off the bone-faced man, attempts to remove his mask. She fails, but she is able to save the girl, so yay! We cut back to Kory. She's revisiting Connor, and basically he tells him how Lex has been tracking her. So Connor says to the effect of, well, maybe you didn't find Lex's secret when you went to like his safe house. Maybe you found him searching for your secrets. And that's a great line. And I wonder, what else could Kory be hiding? Because I feel like with her, we kind of figured everything out in season 1 as far as her destiny and her place on Tamaran. But of course, with her newfound power, maybe there's more to the story, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out. And side note, Connor's hair in this scene looks absolutely great. I love it. Okay, moving on. So we go to Sebastian, and he is presenting some game idea to investors, and it's not good, guys. It utterly flop fails. I felt really bad for him because he was trying to explain and they were not getting it. I was not getting it. Nobody was getting it. But after he says, you know, look, I'm going to change the world, he has another vision of the investors bleeding. They all start bleeding. And I thought that was interesting. I guess it's foreshadowing for what's to come. And I'm here for it. But we cut away from there. We're back with the Titans. Their investigation leads them to a slaughterhouse, which was gruesome. And they go there to find the bone-faced man. So they end up finding a group of men tied up, and basically their blood is getting sucked out of their bodies, like through tubes and everything. Aria's father is one of those men, and he's found, you know, miraculously alive. So they save him and everything. And then Raven tracks down the bone-faced man, and they start duking it out. Again, her powers look incredible. Incredible. I can't say it enough. But during this fight, she says the great line, "Get fucked." Love that. And the bone-faced man, in their fight, he ends up burning himself. Or does he? Because honestly, I think Raven burned him because it was like the heat of the moment. Like, she just flipped out, and I think she burned him. I think that's going to come back up because I feel like this is signifying a change within Raven. Like, maybe she's accessing more of her demonic side, you know, where Trigon resides. I feel like that's what's happening with her this season, especially with this moment. So I'm going to cross my fingers. I hope. But we cut away from that. We're back with Sebastian. He goes to visit his mother, but the mom is dead. Mother Mayhem killed her. And this is his breaking point. He had just a shitty day. And now his mom is dead. So he just loses it. And he's now at his breaking point. I'm ready to see where this goes with him. So we cut away from that. And we have this very sweet scene with Dick and Aria. So Aria's in the hospital now, and he goes to visit her. And he finds a way to relate with her because he lost his parents at a young age as well. And I just thought it was such a sweet moment to see Dick being so positive and helpful to another person. It's been a while since we've seen that. And it was just a really sweet scene. But we cut away from there. Connor is exonerated somehow, some way. I feel like I missed that part, but maybe that's just me. They find out that Lex's physician, he's the one that killed him, I guess. Like, he was the one responsible. So that happens. But Connor in all of this learns he doesn't want to return to Metropolis. And to that I say, yes, don't ever come back to Metropolis ever again in your life. So once again, they're back in the RV. They're about to go back to San Fran and just leave Metropolis behind. Leave that shit in the dust, just like Gotham. Don't ever go back there again. But Mother Mayhem makes herself known to the Titans, and we get the fight from the teaser. I already told you, I'm not a fan of the fight. I don't like when they attack one at a time. And then when they get their ass kicked, they're like totally shocked. It was just, ugh. However, in this scene, I really loved that they had the code names. This was present throughout both episodes, but I just really liked it here because it was so fitting. It was so perfect. And it feels like they're a goddamn team. Like, yay! Kory basically saves everyone. She goes toe-to-toe with Mother Mayhem, and Mother Mayhem kind of knocks her to the ground. We get a cute Dick Kory moment where Dick goes to rescue her and everything, or make sure she's brought to safety. However, in slew of this whole fight, Raven like dies, because she's the second person to attack Mother Mayhem. And I don't know what she did to her. I don't know if she drained her. I don't know if she sent her to another life. I don't know. But she no longer has the jewel in the middle of her head, and her hair is white. So I don't know. I don't think she's dead. Of course not. But I wonder what happened with her, you know? So we cut to the final part of this episode.
Azarath, Metrion, Zinthos!
It just made me so happy. It's not really used in a positive way in this scene, but just to hear it, and I really wanted this to happen. I said this in my prediction video. We're winning! We're winning! but Sebastian ends up hearing this chanting while he is presumably back at his shop. Blood overflows his cup, and that's the final scene of the episode. So just phenomenal start for Titans. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. Only thing, I think this season in particular, and shout out to Blessing, because they made a comment and said that they're going to wait to binge this season. And I kind of agree. Like, if I were to advise anything to anyone, I would say wait until the first 6 episodes come out and then binge. Like, just based off these first 2 episodes, this season in particular is meant to be binged because things go at a slow pace. So, you know, instead of waiting week to week to week, it's better to just watch it straight through. It's not like season 3 where they kind of bum rush through everything. So you could wait from week to week because so much would happen inside one episode. But here, that's not the case. They're taking their time, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. It just means that for some viewers, you may want to binge at least the first part of the season and then come back for the second part. Yeah, I would suggest that. But other than that, that's all I have to say, guys. This episode was great. I loved it. Let me know what you think or don't. But either way, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.